Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Heavy Metal Devils. And with all this negative publicity and energy surrounding the club right now, from Sancho to Anthony to all of our injury problems we're currently having, I just wanted to do something that was a bit more fun and lighthearted. So I'm going to give you what I believe could be our strongest 11 going into the rest of the season. And this is taking into account the injuries, suspensions, the allegations going on right now. We're going to pretend none of that really exists. We're going to utilize every player that is on the roster to come up with what I think could be our best starting 11 going forward. So, just before we get into that, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we want to get to 1,000 subscribers as soon as possible. We want to start getting merch out and getting merch in the hands right to you. Giveaways starts happening at 1,000 subscribers. So let's get to 1,000. Anyway, guys, should we just get into what I believe is our strongest 11? So just before we actually started, I think a lot of these players are given. There's no reason why they wouldn't be in this starting 11. They're probably the best players we have in that position on the pitch. So a lot of them are given. We already know that these guys will feature in our strongest 11. But let's get right into it. So in goal has to be none other than Andre Onana. He has been absolutely phenomenal this season, guys. I know people miss De Gea, and every time a goal goes in, they're blaming it on Onana, and I don't get why that happens. Sure, there may have been one, maybe two incidents he could have done better on, but his passing, his control, the way he carries himself in goal is just absolutely amazing. His passing is just A1. So, yeah, no other player can be in net for us other than Andre Onana. Now, on the right back, in my opinion, and this is probably one of the most remarkable recoveries in the game today, and that is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. How he hasn't been called up to England just yet is amazing, but we all know that Southgate is probably competing with Frank Lampard and Steven Gerrard for the worst coach of all time. So, yeah, anyway, fuck Southgate. He sucks ass. But anyway, Aaron Wan-Bissaka on the right back. I think he's kind of solidified that as the number one right now. His defensive abilities are amazing, mostly amazing. His tackling abilities are amazing. He still leaves a bit to be desired on like crosses, covering the post, but he has been getting better at going forward as well. At some points, he's just going in and out of players going forward like some sort of prime Messi, it looks like. I don't know what's happened with Wan-Bissaka, but he's really improved his game. Still a lot to be worked on. Doesn't have the greatest final ball delivery. Got to work on that, but at the moment, he seems to be our number one choice at right back. The two center backs are absolutely given, and that's Rafael Varane and Lisandro Martinez. The only issue, I was thinking about putting Lindelof in there, but when everyone's fit, it has to be Varane. It's just keeping Varane fit. He has huge issues with injury, and I would look to replace him next summer. We were supposed to replace him this summer with Kim Min-jae. That fell through, and now we're looking at the repercussions of not getting a defender in because Rafael Varane gets injured. But when healthy, him and Varane, easily the best two defenders we have in the team, and possibly some of the best in the league as well. Left back, another easy one. When healthy, Luke Shaw was one of the best left backs in the entire game last season. Absolutely phenomenal for Manchester United. Started off this season a bit rocky, got quite a long injury, about a 3-month injury we're looking at here. But when he's back, he is our starting left back. No qualms about that. If you have any qualms about what I've put in defense, comment down below. I want to hear what you have to say about that. Here we go. Interesting times. Midfield. So at the 6, it has to be Casemiro. I was flip-flopping. Maybe Amrabat could be the 6. And then at 8, we could put Casemiro because he's probably a bit better at putting progressive passes through. and Amrabat can do the 6th position. But I'm going to go with Casemiro in the 6th. And surprisingly, a guy we haven't even seen yet, Amrabat in the 8th. Why? These two are going to be the steel in our midfield defense. Casemiro, natural number 6, hard as nails, can put passes through, can score goals, has to be in on the 6. Needs to work on his fitness, though. Doesn't look up to speed just yet. And Amrabat, an absolute workhorse. Slide tackling machine. He was the number 1 progressive passer in Italy last season as well from his position. So he can put passes up forward. So I think he can play in between those lines a bit more, maybe better than Casemiro. But those two can flip-flop and will be fine either way. That's going to be a hell of a midfield two right there. Then up in that 10, of course, none other than our captain, Bruno Fernandes. No explanation needed there. He creates the most in the league. Since he has joined Manchester United, he has created the most chances in the league. It's not his fault we haven't had strikers that could put them away. And now maybe we do. But yeah, Bruno Fernandes in the 10. I don't want to hear no ifs, ands, or buts or cries about that. Left side, super easy. Left-sided forward, Marcus Rashford. Left winger, Marcus Rashford, I should say. Any issues with that, guys? 30-plus goals involvements last year. Absolute electric. He does need to work on his interlink play. He needs to be a bit less selfish and deliver balls in for our striker now that we have one. But yeah, I don't think you can put anybody in there, man. There's no one in our team that can replace Marcus Rashford on the left. And when we see him play on the left, you see why he is so important to the team. So Marcus Rashford, boom, on the left. Here we go, guys. On the right, lots of options here. And I've heard another channel speaking about this option, and I had this in my head for the past few weeks now. Mason Mount on the right side. He used to play on the left a bit, but I think he can adapt his game to the right. I think that will allow him and Bruno to interchange their position, because we know Bruno does like to play just to drift off to that right side a bit as well. He gets a bit more control on that right side, can deliver crosses in for our striker, can shoot. I just think he is a great player to hold possession, hold that control on that right side. For me, Antony at the moment is not doing it. Sancho has his issues right now. I think Mason Mount could be the best option at the right, followed by Pellistri or Amad Diallo. But I really, really want to see Mason Mount be put on that right side, because I think that would be a very strong combo. And him and Bruno just constantly swapping over, dropping into the 10, dropping back out to the right wing, I think can provide a lot of confusion for other teams on who to mark. So very cool idea there. I want to see what Erik ten Hag will do, and if he will do anything of that sort, especially now that, there's been some issues on our right wing with Antony, Sancho, Ahmad's injured. So maybe Erik ten Hag will look at this option. and down the middle, has to be Rasmus Højlund. He looked absolutely ruthless against Arsenal last week. He was so dangerous, bullied the hell out of Gabriel and Saliba. Should have had a penalty as well. His little back heel for Casemiro's pass to Garnacho, absolutely amazing. I think he is going to be the pit bull we need up front, guys. Absolutely rapid. Now, if Bruno can continue making those chances, he's got a boy up front now that should hopefully put those away. And that can be a serious combination right there. Not to mention, Andre Onana is due to get some assists this season. So balls over the top to Rasmus or Rashford, keep an eye out for that. But yes, Rasmus Højlund in the 9 as our starting striker. I don't want to see Anthony Martial near that position again this season unless it is an emergency. So yeah. Anyway, guys, that is what I believe could be our strongest 11. I think it provides a lot of possession control. We've got a lot of people that can hold the ball, like a Mason Mount, Casemiro, even Bruno can hold the ball. And then we've got our focal point up front with Rasmus Højlund, who's really good at dropping off and feeding other players as well as scoring goals. So I'd love to see Ten Hag try this out maybe for, I don't know if everyone will be ready for the Brighton game, but maybe the next Premier League game after that. I'd love to see an experiment with Mason Mount on the right. I think it would be very, very successful. But anyway, guys, that's what I think our starting lineup, our strongest starting lineup could be going into the season. Let me know what you think down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you all on the next one. Later.